This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the VP of Exploration and Development for Golden Arrow Resources, Mr. Brian McEwen. Brian, it's been a bit. It's great to have you back on. How are you today?
Hi, Gerardo. I'm doing fine. It's great to be back talking to you.
Well, listen, you just announced results from your first exploration target at the San Pedro IOCG project in Chile. And there's a quote in the release. We'll get to the numbers in a bit, but you mentioned in there that the numbers have game-changing potential, specifically the higher grade gold that you weren't anticipating. I know there were quite a few positive surprises here from the results. So I'll read the headline. The headline reads, Golden Arrow drills 34 meters of 0.41% copper and 466 grams per ton cobalt. Let's get right into the numbers, what they mean, why you're happy with them, and the potential for some game-changing mineralization here at the end of that one hole.
Yeah, Gerardo, just if I could give a little bit more of an overview, back it up a little bit. When we purchased the program last year, we inherited a lot of data, a big property, 185 square kilometers, 18,000 hectares. And I mean, I was blown away when I went there, and it was just so big. It's like takes a whole day to drive from one side of the property to the other. And so when we started looking at the data, there was these several different targets. There was an area that was called Rincones, which is right next to Santo Domingo, where Capstone's developing their mine. There was an area to the south, Coya and Rayo. There were all these different targets. And we went in and we looked at it, and you know, there was a lot of pressure from different people and outside things. You know, you got to drill it. You got to drill it. And I pushed back. I said, you know, we don't want to go in here and just drill it. We're not going to continue doing what Sumitomo done. They'd been drilling it 10 years before. You know, we need to understand the project. And so we took back, and we worked through several months of remapping the ground and sampling and going through the drill core, and then came up with a plan where we're going to drill a number of holes in each of the areas. And that's the way we set up our phase one drill program. And we're just starting to get the results that we finished the program, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. And of the 4,000 meters we drilled, we're just starting to get them back. And so each one had a different objective. And in Coya, the one to the south, the one that we drilled first, our objective was to see if we could trace this very thick band of specularite, where you get a lot of the ore happening, and specifically in that area, we get a lot of the cobalt. So we wanted to go in there and drill these holes, so they were widely spaced, and lo and behold, we traced this over the whole length of the drilling program. So we had like 1.5 kilometers of that. They were spaced far apart, and we can actually project that way far to the north. So we think that's a strong structure that could host good mineralization for quite a distance, and that changes things, because all of a sudden we've got this really, really, really big target. And we found that as we went through systematically, we went and drilled our Rodeo target and our Mariposa target, which all had separate targets for different reasons. And then our main Rincones target, which we're just starting to get back, you know, that's the area that we're going to build the resources, like the big numbers. And we're very, very encouraged by what we've seen so far there. And so it is a bit of a game changer, because this phase of drilling was just to confirm what we thought was the geological interpretation. It looks like we were correct, that maybe some of these other ideas that people had weren't there. That it was hard to add up, you know, big tonnages and potential under that interpretation. But under our interpretation, what we were able to find with this first phase of drilling says, yeah, you know, we really could have something here, and that's what made it the game changer. And I guess that foreshadowing was not as subtle as I thought it might be.
Well, it helps to read the entire release, right, from top to bottom, and so I think the foreshadowing is wise in this case, because you've seen many systems, Brian, and so when I hear typically, you know, conservative as far as it relates to the geology this early on, right? When I hear excitement from a team, and I see some foreshadowing in the release, I think it should make shareholders pretty excited for what potentially is to come.
Gerardo, what I find really interesting is that anybody that was following us before with our project in Argentina, our Chinchillas project that we made a deal with Silver Standard Mining. This is so similar because people had gone in and there had been some drill holes and stuff at Chinchillas, and people there had said, it's just too small. I mean, SSR Mining or Silver Standard at the time had said, no, we've looked at it. We're not. It's just too small. And we looked at it. We saw something completely different. And we did exactly the same thing. We went in there, we drilled holes in a different direction. We did some geophysics in some different area. And we changed the whole thing. It could have been a standalone mine, and we ended up making a deal with them and doing whatever way it was we sold to them. It's just, you got to go in with a fresh set of eyes. You don't accept anything as being for sure, and you test your ideas. And I think we're going to go down the same path as we did at Chinchillas here with San Pietro. What
comes next, Brian?
Well, we are still waiting. We put out a press release, as you know, yesterday. We're hoping to get another press release out next week, and then we'll probably have another one out in early July. I mean, so they're going to come bang, 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 because we're getting the drill results now. We're not sitting on these. We're waiting for the results to come in, and we drilled each of these areas, and it'd be nice to put out, all the juicy holes, but they're coming out in the order we received them, and so far they've all been good. So we got some press releases coming out talking about what we see and the results of that, and then where we're going to go from here. We're going to get this whole thing together, start down the path to the 43-101, getting those things in. Once we'll figure out a lot better approach on how we do our infill drill program, and that'll lead towards resources and stuff. So we're pretty excited. We're our next phase of drilling is already planned at 4,000 meters, and if we end up doing a bigger infill program to resources, then we'll do that. But no, I am very happy. Going back to your initial question, Gerardo, yeah, very, very happy with the results.
Well, I know it was a bit in between updates since you and I chatted publicly or privately for that matter. I suspect that with Assays coming in now and the kind of numbers that we're hoping to see, that you and I will be chatting a bit more frequently. Brian, thank you as always for your time. And again, looking forward to doing it in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks again, Gerardo. Pleasure to talk to you anytime.
All right. Chat soon. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.